Hi, I'm Evan Davis, the entertainment editor for the Vegas Voice, and this is On the Town. It's presented by the Vegas Voice, and we have a very special guest with us today, and I'm very happy to have her here. She's a Golden Globe winner. She's a Grammy nominee. She's a Show West winner. She's an accomplished singer. She's a film star, and a Broadway baby is the best way to describe the iconic Pia Zadora. Hi, welcome.
I like it.
Yeah.
I did all that. It's so weird.
I know. And you're going to tell us all about it. We got 2 minutes. Go. No, I'm kidding. I had a whole bunch of questions, and I really don't think I really have to ask you any questions because I don't want you to have to say anything you don't want to say. So why don't you just start from how you got into the business? Were you?
I was a shy little girl. I was going to a parochial school, and the nuns felt that I was socially inept. So my mother took me to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I took children's courses, and I was about 7 at the time, and Burgess Meredith was looking for a little girl to co-star in a Broadway play, and I was starring in The Mean Little Princess, and I was mean because I was always angry. I don't know why. I was frustrated, and because I was shy, I needed to somehow, find myself, come out of my shell. Mm-hmm. And he cast me in co-starring role with Tallulah Bankhead. Wow. And I got great reviews and just went on and on. I was the youngest daughter in Fiddler for 2 years. I was in The Sound of Music. I was in Applause, Promises, Promises. And that was my way of, getting out of myself. When I was playing a role, it was like, okay, these are my words. I can say whatever I want to say. But it basically brought me to a place where I found myself within myself. It was easier for me to be on stage and play a role than to be sitting on a one-on-one with someone.
Okay, well, make believe you're
make believe you're 100 Evan Davis. No, but we all have our paths, our journeys, our ways of finding and discovering ourselves, and we don't necessarily decide what we're going to do. It just happened. It was just a fluke, which is what life is. It just happens. You never know what's going to happen next.
So what did happen next?
Well, I was doing a show, and my first husband, Michelle Merickless.
And how many have there been?
3.
Okay.
3.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I'm stopping at 3. 3 is the charm. There's the charm. But I was playing for Kenley Place with Rich Little, actually,
sure.
And Vincent Price.
He must have been a young boy at the time, too.
I was a teenager, yeah. And I met Rick when I was auditioning for To Kill a Mockingbird at Screen Gems, and my manager knew him, and we stopped at his office to say hi. And he said, "What are you doing next?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to Ohio to do," I forget, it was Applause with Alexis Smith. I was doing 3 shows that summer. And he said, "Oh, I just happened to be lecturing at Ohio State on business, and could you get me a ticket?" So I got him a ticket in the balcony. He wasn't happy about it. I said, "That's the best view in the house. You can't see it from the orchestra." It's a huge auditorium. Uh-huh. And he came back and he brought me a rose.
Oh, how sweet.
And that was the beginning of the end.
Oh.
The beginning of the first husband.
Tell me about the Golden Globe. What'd you get that for?
For Butterfly. It was my first film. It was James M. Cain with Orson Welles and Stacy Keach. Yep. And Ed McMahon and June Lockhart and Edward Albert Jr. Really all-star cast.
Yeah, I know. I saw it many times.
Yeah. And
I did.
I won the Golden Globe for Katie. Oh, yes. And she was a very headstrong girl. I really connected to her. A lot of controversy surrounding it, but hey, no matter how long they want to take it away from me, I'm keeping it. It's on my desk.
Tell me about your other awards. Show West winner.
I don't even remember those. Grammy nominee. I lost to Tina Turner for Rock It Out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had a big pop career in Europe. I had #1 duet with Jermaine Jackson. #1 hit of, I think it was 1985. We won the International Duo of the Year award over Michael Jackson and Mick Jagger. And I was a huge pop star in Europe. Jeez. had a lot of #1 records in France and Spain and all those places, and loved it. But
I-
then Frank Sinatra said, "Don't sing that anymore. Come and sing with me." I'm like, "Do you want me to sing that old stuff, that corny old stuff?" I didn't say that to him, but in my mind, I was thinking, I can't sing The Man That Got Away. I want to sing Rock It Out. And he said, no, come and do this. And I said, okay, well, it is Frank Sinatra, so I might as well listen, at least for a second, and see if it works. So
I'm just humbled to be sitting here with Pia Zadora. And
so I did, and that was probably one of the greatest. I mean, he was a friend, he was a mentor, and he was a father figure. And he took me under his wing, and he was also Frank Sinatra. I still can't believe we just celebrated his 100th birthday.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I can't believe we just celebrated my 50th. 10 years ago. That was the accident. It took 10 years off my life. I can't
Your
believe I've
asset-
been at Pieros for 4 years. This is my 4th year.
I know.
At
That's
Pieros.
a long, long run.
I mean, I've had a longer relationship with Freddie than I've had with 2 of my husbands.
Freddie being the owner of
years.
Pieros, so
Yeah, 4
yeah,
years.
I know.
Or as the tabloids put it, 1 arrest, 1 fatal accident, near fatal accident, and 1 heart valve. I just had
Yeah,
my
I know.
valve replaced. When they told me I had to take the summer off, when they told me I needed a valve replaced, I thought they meant in my car.
Is that
And
the Polish coming out in you?
well, I mean, I didn't even know I had a valve in my heart. Would they say Hillary had a valve problem? They didn't even know she had a heart. No. But
Well, that's okay.
I went in and to the hospital, I got a new part, which made me the first actress to leave a hospital with the same breast she came in with. So it's all good. I'm here to talk about it.
I know. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad. So tell me a little more about some of your singing career.
My singing career. Well, it was with Sinatra. I made albums with the London Philharmonic and with Robert Farnon and Nelson Riddle, because Frank, set me up with all these guys. Said, I want you to do this with this, with this, with this. And he basically guided me in the direction of the standards. And now I own them. Then I sang them. I belted them. Yeah. And I really didn't understand them because I didn't have enough life experience, but I guess he understood that I might eventually get it and that my voice was suited to them in a sense. Because, I mean, to choose me as his opening act was a pretty big leap of faith.
Yeah, just to have you on or anyone on would be like a just humongous accomplishment.
Oh, he was tough, though. He was tough. Every night before I go on stage, he'd call me over, take my hands in his, look me straight in the eye, and give me a 3-word pep talk. Don't screw up. And I didn't, because he was Frank Sinatra.
I know you told me the story about he was first time I think you went on. He said, "Go warm up the audience for me." And what did he say when
that was his clip that he did an intro for me.
Yeah,
and he says, I told her to warm them up, not to burn down the house. I just giggled. And then he says on the tape, he says, and then she gave me that cute little giggle and walked away.
Yeah. Was that you think your best experience singing was with Sinatra?
It was my most, he taught me how to interpret. Yeah. It was different. When you sing pop, it's different. I love pop. My daughter's a pop singer, and I still love it, and I still listen to, pop. Jordan, my son, who's 18, plays them in the car, and I'm listening, and I love it. Yeah. But these songs are me now because, I'm grown up now.
Yeah, well, you can tell too when you hear you singing over at Pieros, you can tell that you really own those songs now. But yeah. We're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little more about what's going on now in your life. Okay. Be right back.
Ichabod's is the place to play. Good food, that's what all the locals say. Good time. Ichabod's is the place to play. Come win, that's what all the locals say. You win. Ichabod's is the place to play. Come win, that's what all the locals say. Come win, come on down and bring a friend. You win. Ichabod's is the place to win.
And we're back with On the Town with my very special guest, Pia Zadora. We've been talking about all the wonderful things she's done in her past, and now we're going to talk about some of the wonderful things she's doing right now.
I hate when people say in the day. It's like today is the day, right?
Yes, it is.
Because this is what we have. This is where we are today, not in the day. That wasn't better than today. Today,
I didn't say that, did I?
no, you
Okay.
didn't. That was a random reference because you said what I'm doing now, what I'm doing that. But now, I think I'm the happiest that I've ever been.
Really?
At least I'm trying to convince myself.
Well, first of all, you got a great husband. Michael is just a swell guy, and I consider both of you really good friends. And so
We do too.
I do.
We do
Thank you,
too.
thank you. And Jordan.
Michael, and Jordan,
Yeah.
my baby. He's my
Yeah,
baby
I know.
boy on Celebrity Wife Swap. Was he cute or what?
Oh, wow. we taped that because we weren't sure. You know, we found out when it was up. We taped it, and we just kept watching it over and over.
Yeah,
again.
Sandy told me she loved Jordan in it.
I know.
But so I married a Vegas cop from Metro. And I never realized it was legal to marry someone my own age. But, we relate to each other. We're, a couple of years apart, but we're basically on the same level. And he's a Nebraska Cornhusker. You know how we met? I had a stalker, and my attorney said, you need to go down and file a report. And I went down to Metro, and my report came across his desk. And we started talking. He called me, well, what happened? Facts. We talked for about 2 years. And then we finally decided we were going to meet because I was going through a divorce at the time with my second husband. And we met, and that was it.
Wow.
2 weeks later, we were engaged.
That's, wow. 2 weeks later. you
Yeah,
were engaged.
I just...
time is short.
You're right. When
Yeah.
you know. But we were engaged for 2 years. So,
Okay.
and the reason I wanted to get engaged right away is because I was living in a house with my 2 younger kids at that time, and I wanted to be, respectable for their sake.
Okay.
So,
All right. Tell me about Pieros and how'd you get started in Pieros? What happened?
it's kind of crazy. But Freddie, I played cab jazz and the Suncoast, and Freddie came to see me. I had been going to the restaurant because I love the restaurant. And he came to see me at the Suncoast. And he said, you need a room. I said, well, get me one. He says, okay, fine. Because, you can only play in this town. I don't like to play, okay, in a month I'll be here, in 3 months I'll be there. I want to do something on a regular basis. I want to do something that's fun. I want to have a party every weekend. I want to see my friends every weekend. I want to keep myself tuned. Same place, same sound, same this, same that. And I love being there because it keeps me on my toes.
And you got a great band. I mean, that band
The
behind
Joe
you.
Lano Trio.
Oh,
I mean, Joe has been with Ella, with Frank, with Lena,
I know.
and those other 2 guys. I mean, I'm so lucky to have those guys.
And when you do have a place, you know what the sound's going to be like. You know the room. You know everybody. You're going to see some familiar faces and some new faces.
Lots of new faces
Yeah.
recently. But I love bringing people up that I know are wonderful local artists and even artists that come from L.A. And I'm bringing Michael Monge up next week as my special guest.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to give him a whole set because he came on the other day. And he was fabulous. And then there's a guy called Louis Amonte, who's a really young, hip
Really?
Latin American. He's coming here for the Grammys. And I'm going to feature him on the latter weekend in November. So I'm going to have more fun bringing in guests as opposed to just you're in the audience, come on up. Really have a guest star every few weeks.
Yeah. Well,
Someone
I got to get
different.
his name for our variety show that we do, the Twilight Affair that Vegas does at the Silverton in November. I'll try to get his number. see
He's
if he'll
only
be
in for a
town.
few days.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not so. And see what.
But you got to
what the
come and
window
see
is.
him, and then you can book him for something else.
Okay, I will. Of course, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your piatinis.
Okay, 2 onions, an olive in the middle, no splash of water because splash of water is what got me arrested. Okay, 1 piatini makes you happy, 2 puts you in the mood for love, and 3 will put you in the drunk tank at Metro. And after 4, you'll be bragging about your degree from Trump University, which brings me to talk about these debates.
Feel free.
I mean, gee, I have seen less insults at a Friars Club roast than at these debates. They're out of control. And you know the last and final one is going to be here in Las Vegas.
Yes, it is.
I mean, great. Two people who gamble with our money coming to a place where people gamble with their own money. It's just so weird. But my dream is that Donald Trump will see Frank Marino, get confused, think he's a woman, and grab him by the... Never mind. It's so crazy. I mean...
I know. Yeah. But you must tell me about some of the other performers that you've been involved with recently. Are there any people that you've bumped into that you know that are coming around town? There's so many shows are closing and a lot of things are opening up, and I didn't know if you had any inside scoop to anything or.
No, I'm just sad that a lot of this stuff is shutting down. Yeah. But there's a lot of new stuff going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Vegas is a town that reinvents itself almost daily. You can't go anywhere in this world where they're tearing down hotels, building new ones, redoing things. There isn't a hotel that's over 10 years old or something.
Well, the Riviera stood there for a long time. It should have been raised way before it was. It was like an old relic at that point. You'd be afraid to go into it. You get, asbestos poisoning and bed bugs. It's gross because that was
the thing. Yeah.
My ex-husband's hotel.
Yes, I know that, but I know they knew that.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah. But that was old Vegas. Now it's new Vegas. And it's cool that it's reinventing. And sometimes things don't work, so they close and other things open. It's almost trial and error. It's an experiment, a work in progress, as they say.
And I enjoy the new things that come out. Being a local in town, not that you get jilted, but you see the same people, the same shows, and even though they
gets
geared,
old. Gets old.
It does. So you like to see some of that. So
something new and exciting.
Something new and exciting.
Yeah. Yep.
But something new and exciting is Pia Zadora at Pieros every Friday and Saturday night. Band starts about 9 o'clock, 8:30. Get there early so you can get yourself either a seat at the bar or a little table in the lounge. The food is wonderful, wonderful. I like eating half portions of the fettuccine Alfredo and doing that.
So fattening.
And having a piatini and then maybe a glass or a bottle of Rapture, which
getting all
Michael
messed up and then calling an Uber.
Yeah. Yes, and I've taken Uber many times down there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wrap things up. I want to thank you for being my guest on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Evan.
I can't wait
fun.
to see you this weekend. Actually, I'll be out
You're
of town.
You're being in
New Orleans,
yeah.
yes. But next weekend I'll be back. And
that's the Monge, Michael Monge.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like Michael. Good friend, too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, again. We're thrilled that everyone came out to join us at On the Town. This is the Vegas Voice, and I'm Evan Davis saying have a wonderful, wonderful week.